Dark Legend was released in 1995 by Data East, and is actually Data East's other big fighter outside Fighter's history. In Japan, the series is known as Suiko Enmu, and in North America and Europe, the arcade version was called Outlaws of the Lost Dynasty. Why they changed the name for the North American Saturn version, I do not know. But let me ask you a question right now. Have any of you even heard of this game before? I'm gonna go on a whim and say no. And the reason for that is this just isn't that great of a fighter, and it was utterly buried under the onslaught of the awesome 2D fighters that were released on the SEGA Saturn. Dark Legend is sort of like a cross between Street Fighter II and Samurai Showdown. The control layout mimics Street Fighter II's 6-button configuration, although here each character also holds a weapon, which makes it a little bit different than Street Fighter II. Interestingly, you have the ability to throw your weapon at your enemy and then fight the remainder of the round without a weapon, which causes your attacks to be weaker but much quicker, allowing for longer combo chains. And naturally, this is a best 2 out of 3 match setup. The weapons also have their own unique meter, and if you defend for too long, you'll break the meter or empty the meter, which stuns your character. You can also perform air juggles and ground bounces, which was somewhat unique for a 1995 fighting game. There are 12 unique fighters in the game, each with their own fighting style and weapon, but for the most part, the cast is largely forgettable. There are no gameplay modes whatsoever outside the single or 2-player versus mode, and the single player mode has you selecting one of the 12 available fighters before you actually select your opponent. That's right, you pick the opponent you want to start with, and then the game will cycle through all 12 characters, each getting slightly more challenging than the last. The game features a lot of loading between each new fight, plus the game actually needs to load in the victory card after each battle. Most of the backgrounds are made up of static images with little or no animations. Yet one or two others will feature some nice graphical effects like falling snow. It's really bizarre to see. The lack of life in the stages is what really brings the package as a whole down though, because it often feels like you're playing a lifeless fighter. Sometimes you'll get lucky and have a level with one layer of parallax scrolling, woohoo! But those are few and far between. The levels also repeat themselves for some bizarre, unknown reason. Shouldn't each of the 12 characters have their own unique fighting stage? There's some nice scaling that occurs every once in a while when the fighters get too far from one another, and the action is fast and frantic, but the animations often feel blocky or framey in comparison to other fighters on the system. The animation in the characters is nice, but not overly complex. Pretty much, overall, Dark Legend just isn't that memorable, and playing through the game for this review in 2015, I honestly had no memory of this game whatsoever. I saw it on my bookshelf and wondered, what the heck was this game all about? So I plunked it in my Saturn, played for a bit, and then said, now I know why I don't remember this, because it's pretty much forgettable. And that statement sums up exactly how I feel about this one, guys. For anyone else out there that has played Dark Legend, what are your thoughts? Do you too consider this one better left on the bookshelf?